PM's effusive praise for the RSS chief. Hails the living example of Vasudev Kutumbakam. PM's praise triggers a political war of words. Congress slams a desperate bid to curry favour. The retirement rule row also returns.
ये 75 साल का जो फार्मूला था, प्रधानमंत्री का बनाया वो फार्मूला है, जो उनका स्टेटमेंट है या जो उनका राइटिंग है, एक तरह से खुश करने के लिए आरएसएस को दिया है, लिखा है.
Is the Modi-Mohan feud a figment of opposition's imagination? That's our top focus on NewsTrack at 10 p.m.
Good evening, this is the NewsTrack and I'm Marya, Shakil. There has been a lot of intrigue building up to the 75th birthdays of RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, both of which fall within a few days of each other. The opposition, along with critics of the government, were quite keen to highlight a supposed rift within the head of the Sangh Parivar and the head of the union government. And they had kept insisting that the RSS chief's comments over retiring was a veiled message for Prime Minister Modi. Today, that illusion has been comprehensively shattered. On the occasion of Bhagwat's 75th birthday, the Prime Minister has penned a glowing tribute to the Sarsang Chalak. Prime Minister Modi called Bhagwat a living example of the principle of Vasudev Kutumbakam, someone who dedicated his entire life to societal transformation and strengthening the spirit of harmony and fraternity. It's a tribute that makes it clear the deep respect the Prime Minister holds for the RSS chief. But the Congress is still not convinced, calling the tribute over the top, claiming it is a desperate bid to curry favour with the RSS leadership. They have also once again raised the supposed retire at 75 rule for the Sangh Parivar, even though the BJP has repeatedly confirmed that no such rule exists. So what really explains the Congress party's continued potshots at Modi-Mohan dynamic? Is it a tacit recognition of the formidable challenge which is being posted by the brotherhood that forms India's right-wing powerhouse? Or is there really more to this relationship than what meets the eye? We have a power-packed panel lined up for you, but first up, here's what happened today.
स्वयंसेवक संघ के संस्थापक का मात्र ये सिर्फ स्मारक मात्र ही नहीं है, ये एक ऐसी जगह है जो संगठन की वैचारिक जड़ों से भी गहराइयों से जुड़ा हुआ है. प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी कुछ देर पहले
RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has turned 75 today. And it's the Prime Minister who's showering praises on the Sangh's chief. PM Modi has penned a note saying that Bhagwat is a living example of the principle of Vasudev Kutumbakam. According to him, Bhagwat has dedicated his life to societal transformation, strengthening the spirit of harmony and fraternity. PM Modi also said Bhagwat's tenure as RSS chief since 2009 will be remembered as one of the most transformative periods in its 100-year journey. Not just that, PM Modi has also highlighted two key attributes of Bhagwat: continuity and adaptation. And in these two words, the opposition has seen an afsar to attack the Prime Minister. The Congress claims that Modi needs the RSS now more than ever, because only Bhagwat can help end the 75-year retirement age limit.
This double standard exposes the double standard for those senior leaders in BJP and for Nagpur differently. Modi's tribute to Bhagwatji is not respect, it is a sycophancy. Modi's tribute to Bhagwatji is not respect, it is a sycophancy. A signal to RSS leadership, don't apply 75 to me.
Opposition leaders have also slammed the Prime Minister for an over-the-top tribute, calling the birthday note a desperate bid to curry favour with the Sangh leadership. They've also questioned Bhagwat and the RSS role in India's freedom struggle and nation building.
ये एक प्रकार से प्रधानमंत्री का सरेंडर है आरएसएस के सामने। बीच में नड्डा साहब का एक बयान आया था पिछले 2024 के चुनाव से पहले कि हमें आरएसएस की अब कोई ज़रूरत नहीं, हम इतना सक्षम है, इतने मजबूत हो चुके हैं, बड़ा संगठन इतना ग्रास रूट पर मजबूत हो गया है कि हमें किसी की ज़रूरत। उसका नतीजा उन लोगों ने देखा। जो बयान, जो उनका स्टेटमेंट है या जो उनका राइटिंग है, एक तो उसे खुश करने के लिए आरएसएस को उन्होंने दिया है, लिखा है।
The Prime Minister's letter comes amid renewed scrutiny of BJP-RSS ties. On Independence Day, he had praised the RSS from ramparts of the Red Fort, acknowledging their work in promoting social harmony and national service. The public acknowledgement was seen as a signal of the continuing close ties between the BJP and the organization.
आज से 100 साल पहले एक संगठन का जन्म हुआ, राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ। 100 साल की राष्ट्र की सेवा एक बहुत ही गौरवपूर्ण स्वर्णिम पृष्ठ है। सेवा, समर्पण, संगठन और अप्रतिम अनुशासन जिसकी पहचान रही है, ऐसा राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ दुनिया का ये सबसे बड़ा एनजीओ है एक प्रकार से।
Just weeks ago, Bhagwat himself clarified that there are no rifts between the RSS and the BJP.
Struggle might be there, but there is no quarrel. Goal is the same. Good of our country, good of our people. If that understanding is there is always coordination.
Together, this right-wing duo forms a formidable force that shapes India's political landscape. Does a so-called divide then only exist in the minds of the opposition? Has Modi's effusive tribute silenced critics or only made them more desperate? With Astha Bhardwaj, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me on the show tonight, Professor Rakesh Sinha is an RSS ideologue and also former MP of the Rajya Sabha. We have Mohan Mangalam, senior spokesperson of the Congress Party, Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist and columnist, Rajat Sethi, analyst, also joins us. Neerja Chaudhary, as a keen watcher of politics, does this send a message that all is well between the RSS and the BJP, particularly at a time when the political narrative is under scrutiny?
I think I would read 3 points out of this. The lavish praise that the Prime Minister has heaped on the chief of the RSS, who turned 75 today, and one, that it has to be decoded politically. It's not as if the Prime Minister called on Mohan Bhagwat and wished him a happy birthday. He went public. He went public by writing about it, and he'd also gone public on the 15th of August by praising the RSS from the ramparts of the Red Fort, which had never happened before, calling it the largest NGO in the world. Now, number 2 point I would like to make is, it shows, at least to me, that a working understanding has been reached between Narendra Modi and Mohan Bhagwat. Now, there's been a lot of buzz in the last 1 year, whether the RSS not working as proactively for the BJP in the 2024 elections had led to the BJP slumping to 240 Lok Sabha seats. And it worked very proactively in Haryana, Maharashtra and Delhi, and the BJP did very well electorally. So they both need each other. And, you know, one of the challenges that possibly the RSS has faced in the last 11 years is that the BJP has been headed by a powerful and a popular Prime Minister. That had never happened before. So to manage the relationship between the mentor and the protege had its own challenges. The third point I would like to make is, it also shows that RSS is in all likelihood accepted that Mr. Narendra Modi will be the chehra, the face of the BJP in the 2029 election.
Absolutely.
And the RSS, which is always emphasizing collectivity as opposed to individualism, that's been a point they've repeatedly said, would like to look at the post-Modi era and get people, leaders ready for that.
Okay. So that's quite a reading here, Nirja. So thank you so much for that. Mohan Mangalam, there is no troubled waters here. Then what exactly is the Congress hoping for? All is well. There is no fissure between the RSS and the BJP.
Marya, Congress isn't hoping for anything. We wouldn't care either way whether there is a fissure or not. We're just merely commenting on how over the top it seems the Prime Minister's ode to Mr. Bhagwat was in all the papers today. First, I'd say that I would disagree with Nirja ji a little bit. I think Vajpayee ji was as popular a figure. It depends on what part of the country you are in. From my home state of Tamil Nadu, I think Mr. Vajpayee was far more popular than Mr. Modi is even today in my state. Secondly, I'd say that, if you look at the last year, it has been veiled criticism from Mr. Mohan Bhagwat of the BJP in a lot of ways. And there's also the 75-year retirement thing, which of course he retracted later on. But he did talk about not approaching the elections with hubris, not thinking of yourself as non-biological, if you will. He even openly criticized the government's manner of dealing with the conflict in Manipur. But I didn't hear any sort of criticism or any, even I would say, veiled criticism from the government or the Prime Minister himself of anything that the RSS stands for. So this obviously comes across to anybody who's been watching what's happening over the last years as Mr. Modi sort of trying to make nice with the RSS. This all started, the criticism started to come obviously after the 2024 results. That wasn't the kind of mandate that the BJP thought they were going to get. And also, I think around the same time as Mr. Tariq Anwar said in the piece you played earlier, that Mr. Nadda had said that we are saksham or we can take care of things on our own. So this is obviously Mr. Modi.
Okay, but how does it help the Congress party and the opposition? I mean, if you are, making all these calculations, how does it help you politically?
There is nothing in here to help or hurt us, frankly. We've been fighting against the RSS and the BJP on the other side of the ideological divide since the beginning.
Okay.
So whether they're together or they're apart, it makes no difference to us.
Okay.
It's not that the RSS workers or the Pracharaks are ever going to ask for votes for the Congress party, regardless of whether there's a difference or not between them and the BJP. In fact, Mr. Gandhi has constantly said, I'll just say that the BJP is the RSS. So where is the difference here that we're talking about? Okay. We're merely commenting on the fact that it seems that Mr. Modi needs the RSS a lot more than it seemed he needed in 2023 or 24 before the election results.
So this is more about political compulsion, you are saying. First, yes. 15th of August speech, and now an article in Daily is Professor Rakesh Sinha. How do you see the relationship between the BJP and the RSS evolving, especially with such high-profile personal acknowledgement by the Prime Minister, public acknowledgement as well?
First of all, this is today is the birthday of Mohan Bhagwat ji, who has been spending almost 50 years in public life, dedicating to the nation. And I visited his home in Chandrapur, Maharashtra. You know, any person in public life gets a small position. You go to his home and you will find a large number of people are coming, and the home is reconstructed, and there is a lot of hue and cry. But Mohan Bhagwatji's home I have visited twice. You cannot imagine. It was a very simple home. His brother attends Sakha. Nothing like that is a power center. This is an example in Indian politics, Indian political life, that a head of a biggest social and political movement, social and cultural movement, and his sibling is in power, and his home is just like his middle class home. Coming to the core issue of the Modi ji's article on Mohan Bhagwat ji, it is, I am not surprised the Congress remark or interpretation of the political analysts, because there is a value deficit in Indian political culture and poverty of ideas. Those who have been groomed under the Nehruvian ideological climate, they can't understand the Indian tradition, where birthday's importance is not merely congratulating each other, but to remember his or her contribution to the society. The man is not assessed by how many years he lived. He is assessed by how much he contributed to the society. So in RSS tradition, there is a value system, and a foreigner who wrote book on the RSS, he understood more than others in the Congress party. Anderson, it was the first book on the RSS, 1978 it was published. The author is Anderson. He gave the title of the book Saffron Brotherhood. What does it mean? We are all ideological siblings. We may be in politics, we may be in social life, we may be the labor field, but there is a unity of ideological mission. There is no dilution of ideological mission. As far as Narendra Modi's Prime Ministership is concerned, I think this is the first time there is a perfect combination on ideological mission what we have to achieve. And Narendra Modi has never disguised his association with the RSS. Okay. Rather, he always reflected the RSS culture, RSS value system. Therefore, I consider the Congress cannot understand the RSS, the party which banned RSS thrice without any reason, the Congress party which tried to coerce the RSS, the Congress party which started narrative of Hindu terrorism, not only RSS, but entire Hindu society targeted. So, party which was started by O.A. Hume and now being led by Sonia Gandhi, there is more elements of foreign mindset than the Indian mindset.
Okay.
They dominate. That's why I am surprised on the occasion of the birthday. They are politicizing the issue. Prime Minister is giving a tribute. He is praising the role he played. What role Mohan Bhagwat played? Vasudev Kutumbakam. When the term Hindu and definition of Hindu, there is an erosion of its meaning. It became synced. Now Mohan Bhagwat progressively unfolded this. He redefined the nationalism. So what Dr. Hedgewar started RSS 1925, Sri Guruji Golwalkar led the RSS 33 years and set the agenda during the Nehruvian era. 33 years. Now Mohan Bhagwat ji, in last 25 years, as Sangh Parivar and the Sarsang Chalak, he faced challenges. There are twin challenges. Just I am ending with this twin challenges. One, the challenge of the anti-RSSism has a global alliance. And the Congress party is part of that global alliance. Second, when earlier Jansangh was not in the power, BJP was not in the power. This time BJP is in power. So there is a favorable political and climate, and the Indian state is very cooperative on ideological mission. In that occasion, Mohan Bhagwat ji safeguarded the RSS cultural values boundary. This is the biggest achievement.
Okay.
We are least affected by the power politics.
Okay.
RSS maintains its autonomy as a culture.
All right.
BJP is doing perfectly the ideological mission of the RSS.
Rajat Sethi, in your view, is this purely a personal gesture of respect, or is there a calculated political message being sent to the grassroots and the BJP cadre?
Well, I think if you ask this question from an RSS or a BJP Karyakarta or an RSS Pracharak, he'll say these are all part of the same family, and it is one person greeting another senior person from the same family. But there will be political analysts who would want to, zoom in and try and see some kind of a fractal geometry shape up over there. It's not that. I have always maintained at multiple platforms.
Yes.
You need to have a lived experience of what an RSS as an institution is in order to appreciate how do individual organizational relations operate and individual one-on-one relations operate. It is very hard to fathom for others who are not part of this institution, because around the world there is absolutely no parallel to this setup. Look at anywhere in the world. You will not find an organization which is a 100-year-old organization in the very first place. They have lived through decades and decades, and they've seen the ups and downs of this nation, and they've held the society and by far the largest set of people under one umbrella, under one hood. even here on the other side, you have a BJP, which as an institution has evolved over the last, in its earlier avatar as Janasangh and then as BJP. It has considerable institutional memories and histories that go in. Where will you see the two structures going parallelly as tracks of railway? It doesn't work like that. There is no parallel, and therefore all the confusion comes in. And the famous saying goes that it's very hard to understand RSS and very hard to misunderstand RSS.
Okay.
Very easy to misunderstand RSS. Largely, the point remains. This is an easy sort of a fodder that you throw before analysts, that they want to dissect and keep dissecting what has Prime Minister said, pick every word of what Mohan Bhagwat ji says, and keep running shows all day. There is very little issues that when you were asking this question, that what did JP Nadda said, it is the vision of every RSS member or a senior leader that every organization that comes out of the tree of RSS, the parent body, grows and matures in its own right. There is nothing wrong if BJP stands on its own fate and doesn't require, multiple support systems, etc., to bolster its numbers. Now, BJP, look at the size of BJP. So you might want to see contradiction in that. I don't see contradiction, and many others don't see contradiction.
Okay, fine. So you don't see contradictions. There is a lot of warmth and in this, what is being seen as a personal tone in this article. It's not really a shift in public positioning here, Mohan Kumar Mangalam. So, perhaps the opposition should look within and look at their ideological foundations rather than looking at the RSS-BJP foundation, because it's very clear that as far as the BJP is concerned, they see RSS as their ideological fountainhead.
Marya, we don't have to look at our foundations. Our foundations are the independence movement. Our foundations are the constitution of this country. We believe in civic nationalism. And I find it rich that they're talking about Vasudev Kutumbakam while at the same time othering anybody who's come from another country and made this country their own. They're talking about a global anti-RSS alliance. See, RSS is the original rumor-spreading society. This is exactly the kind of conspiracy theories that they'll throw out and paint themselves as victims to be. On what planet does Vasudev Kutumbakam apply to the RSS, whose vision is purely exclusionary? I mean, where is it that you're breaking down barriers and bringing everybody onto the same plane? I went to a school in Delhi which was started by a British-born lady that came and took, imbibed all Indian values in here and made India a home. And our motto was Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And much before RTE was enacted in 1978, she went and got children from extremely economically weaker sections, gave them uniforms and sat them down next to us. So it was that spirit that was imbibed in us from a young age. And I can tell you that the RSS is anything but Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Mr. Modi also spoke about...
Okay, I have just enough time
to his speech.
for the final word to Professor Rakesh Sinha. Rakesh Sinha, you have 30 seconds.
The RSS has been working for 100 years, and the history of RSS is the history of the evolution of a alternative political culture discourse in this country. That discourse is based on the indigenous knowledge system on the one hand, and on the other hand, it addresses the core philosophical idea of India, that is a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which Mohan Bhagwat ji as RSS chief and his own individuality represent, which Prime Minister has been explained, which has been explained by the Prime Minister in his article. And both Prime Minister Narendra Modi is very clear. He is not apologetic about his RSS relationship. Earlier we had many leaders of RSS in the Indian state, but partially they had been apologetic. Prime Minister reflects the idea of RSS, and he implemented the core value and ideas of the RSS in his governance. I'm ending with that. The Congress came into power in 1947 after independence, and Edward's statue was there, Queen Victoria's statue was there. They were not apologetic about the Queen Victoria and Edward King, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi decolonized, and Mohan Bhagwat ji leading the RSS is the only movement in this country which is leading the decolonization of the Indian mind, Indian political and social structure, as well as the Renaissance in the country.
Professor Rakesh Sinha, always pleasure having you on my shows. Thank you, Mohan Kumar Mangalam, Neerja Chaudhary and Rajat Sethi for joining us on the NewsTrack tonight. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.